I felt inspired to do this intuitive message video. So if you've been needing a little bit of guidance in your life, hopefully this will be helpful to bring out that intuitive guidance within you. If you've never done this before, then it's pretty simple. By the way, I'm Max. I think we probably already know each other, but here's how this works. I'm going to lay out 3 cards, and you can just intuitively pick which one you're drawn to, or I will do a 30-second meditation to help you choose what is right for you. And then after that, I will have timestamps below so you can go to that specific card message. All right, so I'm going to turn this down for a moment. Okay. So, all right. We have 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And after this is finished, you can pause this if you need to. Otherwise, we'll do a 30-second meditation to help you choose. If you've already chosen, you can go ahead and go to the timestamp below. If this is live, just wait. So, I invite you to start by tapping the center of your chest. Take a slow, deep breath in. Close your eyes. Relax your hand and arm down. Breathe out. Focus on the center of your chest. Breathe in. Focus on your forehead. Breathe in. Focus on the top of your head. Breathe in. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And breathe out. Imagine that you're standing in front of a mailbox. Open up this mailbox and see that there is a card inside with a number 1, 2, or 3. Is it 1, 2, or 3? It may be more than one number. Either way, trust yourself. Put that card in your back pocket and close your mailbox, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, hopefully that was helpful. Now we will get started. Okay? All right, if you chose, let me move this a little bit. All right, if you chose card number 1, there we go. If we chose card number 1, interesting. You have the Black Library. And right now this message and all these messages are going to be answering the question, what is finally behind you? What is finally behind you? So if you chose card number 1, the Black Library is interesting. It says, don't believe everything that you read. So we'll get into that more. And it's number 13. So what this tells me is that around the 13th, in particular Friday the 13th. When is Friday the 13th? Is that in August, maybe? But whatever it is, if you chose this first card, then something around the 13th, maybe of September, is really important because you received a message. You received an email, a text message from someone, and what is really behind you now is your reaction to that. So it feels like this could be someone that you've had a lot of complications with in your life. It's probably a male. You know, this could be someone that you used to date. This could be even a family member. But it's something where in this situation, you did a lot of work in order to try to make this relationship work. And this, again, could be romantic, but it also could just be a friend or family member. And in the past, you put in a lot of effort, meaning even when you were exhausted, you still message this person back. Roman says, nah, I'm good. Okay. But I do see Roman, Hector, Luca, thank you all for being here. All right. So if you've been wondering what is behind you, it does seem like putting in all this effort is behind you. Okay? and we'll get more information, but it seems like you aren't responding as you used to. And what's interesting is, I don't know if you can see, there's kind of an image of a person here, and this person is you. And the feeling is, this person texts you something or sends you an email, like you need to respond immediately. You need to listen to me and help me figure out yet another problem. And this is you saying, all right, well, good luck with that. I've done the best I can. So what is behind you is bending over backwards for somebody. Yeah, that's literally what it sounds like here. And the other part of this card is always saying that if you have been looking into something spiritually, this could be maybe even watching pick a card videos on YouTube, maybe even looking into manifestation videos, or you've been looking into meditation. What you should know is that if you're looking into that, not everything that you're finding is the real deal. That doesn't mean you should stop researching things for your life, but this is a good time to pause. Also, it sounds like one of the motivations that you've had for trying to deal with this person, you might not need that anymore, because this person isn't going to get under your skin the way they used to. Okay, you know how we can sometimes get desperate, especially if you felt like you were the only person putting in any effort. Okay, so let's see. So what is finally behind you? Let's take a look here. What is finally behind you? What is finally behind you? Woo! Wow. Temperance, number 14. Wow, you have 13 and then 14. How cool is that? That will show up 13 and 14. This is a pretty big deal. So basically, oh my gosh, and at the bottom you have pain, 3. Okay. So March 14th might be an especially might be an especially important day. This could be your birthday, this could be this person's birthday. Oh my God. And then underneath that you have the 7 of Swords, which is deceit, lies, trickery, being sneaky, stealing, trying to get away, sneak away. So, wow. So the deal with this is, what's behind you is, wow, feeling like you had to bend over backwards in order to get away from this person hurting you. And what you found is, it says, I know my extremes, now I seek peace. So this is balance, peace, patience, moderation. Time heals all wounds. So it sounds like in the past 3 months especially, you have been dealing with someone that has just been giving you a lot of heartbreak. There's a sense of betrayal, and I'm just not just making up these intense feelings. I mean, it's showing me here that you've really, really been going through it, to the point where, I'll just say that, to the point where you have been trying to figure out a sneaky way to get out of this, which is, there's no judgment here. There's a feeling of, I can't seem to get out of this drowning sense of heartbreak, so I'm going to, it's like I'm going to connect with someone that I know is not really my friend. Ooh, this is getting kind of dark. But this is this feeling of, I'm with someone here who has betrayed me, has just broken my heart, and I've met someone who I know is not really a great friend. This person is not really a great friend to you, but what you've decided is, that's okay. I'm going to connect with anybody else, to help me get away from this painful relationship. Yeah. And there's also something about July. So July 3rd or July 14th might be important birthdays or something like that. Also, this person that you are finally putting behind you in a sense, there's something important about their feet. They might like to walk around barefoot all the time. And it might even be that that they have red shoes. It could literally be that. Hector, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here, Hector. Yeah. So I hope that this is helpful so far. So what you're putting behind you is putting in all this energy to someone that has broken your heart. And as I always say, we do not have to put energy into people that hurt us. And I know that that can always seem harder. It's easier said than done, but it's the truth. So the good news is you're putting that behind you. And there's something about the 14th. So, Raven, I look like your ex. Oh, geez. Well, I'm not. So if there's somebody blonde in your life, you should know that that's a good person. That is someone who's going to bring you some peace and help you out. This even could be someone that's a soulmate of sorts. This is a very intense sort of message that I normally wouldn't give, but you've really been through it, really been through it, the past 3 months especially, and you don't have to work so hard to get out of this anymore. If you've met somebody new recently, it doesn't mean it's romantic, and you're not sure about if they're really a friend or not, I don't know. I would just give it some time, because it could turn out that they maybe just wanted you around for some reason, but now, after a little bit of time, you might find they accidentally turn into a really good friend, or even a kind of soulmate. But this is a feeling of a lot of compromise that leads to forgiveness, okay? Maybe, let's see, one more. What is a sign that this is behind you? What is the sign that this is behind you? Your hands have been really full also. It's this feeling of, while you were around this person that has hurt you, your hands were always full. It's very interesting. It's this feeling of having so much to do. It's this feeling of, I gotta stay busy, and because if I don't stay busy, then this person can hurt me. Jeez, you've really been going through it. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Pile number 1, you really, I keep just repeating it. You're going through it, but the good news is it really is behind you. So you have choose to be here, which is 35. It says, surrender to where you are now, and your life will miraculously turn out the way you want. Wow. Yeah, just the overall feeling here is you have been in this race. You've been in this race for years. It's not just a short period of time. You've really been in this race for years to try to get away from this person that's caused you heartbreak, okay? And look at this face. That might be how you're feeling right now. It's like, oh my gosh, just give me a break. But the good news is, pile 1, if you chose this means that what's behind you is having to run for your worth and having to run to get away from this person that has hurt you. Also, there might be something with time where you feel like you're always late to things. That could be. Also, you might have started something like yoga recently, like some kind of exercise recently. Also, if in the past you've been kind of skittish, you've been someone where you've been hurt. So if someone seems too clingy, or if someone seems to have something to offer you, rather than say, oh, thanks, you're like, you can keep that carrot, I'm out of here. That is going to start to go away also. There's something about tea here. Literally, like drinking tea. That could be something that you've started that's important for you. but you're worn out, and so luckily this is behind you, it looks like. And so the main message with this is you don't have to try so hard to move out of this house with this person, or you don't have to try so hard to ignore this person anymore. Try to choose to be here right now. Just try to assume that in this moment, you're exactly where you need to be, and you don't have to run from anything anymore. Well, how can you say that? It's because you don't have the energy for it anymore, and you've learned you don't owe anything to this person. If someone's hurt you, you don't have to put all this in. Wow. Communication is the last message here. Number 33. Yeah, you might be 33 years old even, but what you should know is that if you've had someone to come visit you recently, this could be someone that is kind of outspoken. Maybe you've had someone that says, you need to quit texting them back, or you need to quit giving all your energy and worrying about them. Like, just knock it off. This person that came to visit has a point. But maybe you've been like, no, I can't, I have this responsibility, I've known them a long time, and that's BS. And you also might be seeing repeating numbers recently, like you've been seeing 3:33 on the clock, etc. Those are all good signs, okay? All right. This also could be someone that doesn't like to wear shoes. They might go barefoot a lot, okay? This does feel like someone who visited, someone who's outspoken, who you might be a bit afraid because you never know what they're going to say. Okay. Wow. So overall, what you put behind you is all this effort to try to make this person happy, this person who's hurt you and betrayed you, and you don't have to do that anymore. Okay. Wow, at the bottom of here we have love and relationships. Look at this, these colors, this chaos. It says, choose your relationships wisely as you are choosing your future family. I know that's right. Also, you might be seeing ladybugs. So that's a number 26. So this person that has hurt you might be younger than you, significantly younger than you. But it sounds like these are all good things. So that's what I have for pile number 1, and I'm so glad that you're finally going to get some rest and you can put your energy elsewhere. Okay? So take good care of yourselves, and I'm sending you lots of good energy. Bye. All right. So, if you chose card number 2, and if you're watching this live, you'd have to go back to the beginning, or just go with it. But if you chose card number 2, then this is your message here. Okay. Wow. This is no joke. Okay, so if you chose card number 2, you have communicating with the 4 clairs. This is number 22. You might not know what that means yet. It says the universe is sending you a never-ending stream of messages to help you. This is a very, very, very spiritual, esoteric, woo-woo message, okay? So what this is saying is that you are likely a pretty spiritual person already, and when it says communicating using the 4 clairs, you probably know what that means already. But the message for you, number 2, is you have intuitive abilities. You are special in some ways, okay? You might be an empath. You might be really sensitive to other people's feelings, and you know that. You might actually feel people's energy. You might actually have dreams that tend to happen. You might be seeing repeating numbers. And wow. And I'm really surprised this came out. So, I'm sorry, I didn't finish my thought. Sometimes I get, ooh. So, communicating using the 4 clairs, what does that mean? If you don't know, They are clairvoyance, which means you can see. You're able to see images, see visuals, see messages. That's one that I have. And this doesn't mean with your physical eyes. This means like you can see how things can play out, etc. Also, there's you have clairvoyance. There's also clairsentience, which means you can feel other people. You can feel what someone else is feeling, even if they're on the other side of the world. There's also claircognizance, which is your crown chakra, which means you just know things. There are times when you need to make a decision and you think, oh, well, that's, that person is going to be free that day and they're going to really come through. Well, how do you know that? I just know that. Or it can be something really practical, like my car isn't working and they don't know what's wrong with it. Oh, it's that your igniter isn't working. Well, how do you know that? I don't know. I just know that. Something like that. So there's clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, and there's also some really rare ones like clairgustance, which means you can literally taste something and it gives you information, like you can taste something. There's also clear smelling, basically. There's clear smelling where you might be someplace and you smell the perfume of your grandma who's passed away. That one's a little bit more rare. It's usually clairvoyance and claircognizance. But these are, for lack of a better word, these are psychic abilities, and it is a new world out there. It's 2024. It really is a new world, and if you've been feeling kind of skeptical or alone in this is a message that what you're putting behind you is the fear of these. Okay? So, this is a very spiritual message for number 2. What have you put behind you? What you're putting behind you, what you have, is this feeling of being all alone and not having any guidance, okay? And some of the messages that you've been receiving have started from September 22nd. So just think about what have you been doing around September 22nd. You've been and this message is that you feel like you missed an opportunity. For pile number 2, you feel like you missed an opportunity recently, and this could have been even yesterday or around the 22nd of September. Yeah, it says hesitant, missed opportunities. This also could be where you had an idea and you really wanted to make it happen. I feel like this has something to do with, like, in some way hiring another person, or like giving someone else a part of your life. This is a feeling of like, okay, this person was a friend and now they're going to be a really good friend. Or this is a feeling of, I trust you enough to watch my dog. Or this is a feeling of, elevating someone else and trusting them. But maybe you feel like you missed that opportunity. It's definitely that feeling like in a movie where, there's this person that maybe was a friend, and maybe you actually care about them more than a friend, and it's like they're leaving to go on an airplane, and it's this feeling of, I gotta make sure I get to them, and I just talk to them before they leave, and then maybe you miss them, and it's this feeling of, well, that means I screwed it all up. But you didn't. You really didn't. And maybe that's the message that that the universe is trying to give you, that you'll have many more opportunities. This also could have to do with an Aries in your life. Oh my gosh. How interesting. So, this also could be something where someone is leaving and you don't want them to, and you feel kind of desperate. Because what I just realized is this weird image here. I don't know if it'll show up. This is actually someone who is not very happy, but this down here, this is a person desperately holding onto their leg. Wow, it's like, don't leave kind of thing. So this also could mean that around the 22nd, you felt like you wanted someone to stay, but you couldn't. Interesting. But the general theme here is that you're intended to use your intuition and pay attention to the signs around you for help. All right, so let's get just another card. What is it that pile 2 has put behind them? What is it that pile 2 has put behind them? What is it that pile 2 has... Oh, snap. Y'all are something else. If you're not a spiritual person, you better start looking into that. Start meditating, start looking into spiritual gifts, start paying attention to the time on the clock, start figuring out what is your unique purpose in this life, because you have the Magician. Wow. So what you've put behind you is this fear that you're missing out on life, this fear that you're not good enough, this fear that you have bad timing, you're missing people. That's not the case at all. And actually, what's the date today? So there's something about January 22nd. What was going on around January 22nd of this year? This is something that is coming full circle now. It's something where you've waited a long time for this. And now that you're putting behind this fear of, I'm not good enough, I keep screwing things up, let all that go. It's not true. It's taken about 11 months, but now you have this. I have all the resources I need, inner and outer. This is about creativity, action, manifestation, self-employment, a smooth talker, having the gift of the gab, so willpower, visualization. So because you're going to just finally believe in yourself, you know what? Anything that didn't work out, it was not meant to work out. Rejection, what is it? Rejection is your protection. From now on, I want you just to assume that, even if it hurts a bit, because what I see is in the next month, finally, what you've been working on is going to show up. I could see you actually having a moment where you're talking in front of a group of people, and this could be even November 1st, December 1st, and this is a big day. You decide, I'm going to start my own business, or you decide, wow, now I finally have enough money to do this thing. And the Magician is a big deal. This is saying that all of these months that you've been waiting, 11 months, where you didn't have it enough, now you do. And you're going to speak up for yourself. Also, you might be out at a dinner. It seems like in November 1st or December 1st, you might be out at a dinner with someone or in front of people somehow, and you say, I'm starting a business, or I'm going to use the money I've saved up for, I don't know, to finally plant a garden, or I'm trying to figure out what the message is here. The other part of this you should know is that this comes full circle. Ever since January 22nd, you've been very giving, and that's kind of how the universe works, is if you can find a way to give without resentment, even when you don't have much, I swear, it will come back around. It does, and it may have taken 11 months. You're like, tick-tock, bitch. But it does. It really does. And because of that, it looks like in the next month or two, you're going to have everything you need. And you're going to literally be an example of someone who they want something and then they make it happen. I wish I could get more specifics, but maybe there's just so many different things. Yeah. Oh, there's also something here about laying your sword down. Maybe you've really been fighting. You've been fighting to try to hold on to that person. You've been fighting to try to hold on to that job, or fighting for this is very specific, but maybe for one of you, you've been wanting to have a baby. You've been really trying to have a child, and it's been hard. Isn't that feeling of laying down your sword, because you also realizing people trust you. You can be compassionate to people. You have enough money. You don't have to fight so much. Also, if you've been having headaches or migraines, those are going to start going away with this. If you've been having allergies, that's going to get better. Well, I guess part of it is because it's turning into winter, at least in the northern hemisphere. But allergies will be getting better. And what you should know also is that you're going to be getting messages validating all of this. So pay attention to the messages you see on TV, or if you might hear like 4 different people in the same day, they say the same words, something like, I'm glad you said that. It sounds weird, but maybe 4 different people in one day say, I'm glad you said that. And that is the universe's way of telling you whatever you just said is part of your gift to the world. Okay. I think that's about it. I guess another sign is you might be seeing flowers or roses. You might have even bought yourself flowers recently, maybe. Yeah. And so, it's interesting. This person has a snake as a belt. The magician always has a snake as a belt, which is kind of like the snake eating itself, which is a sign of being infinite and cycles. So it's time for you to start a new cycle, it sounds like. Okay. All right. I think that's what I have for you, so I hope that's been helpful. Hi, Winter. Oh, hey. It's nice to see you again. Absolutely. Thanks for being here. All right. So that's what I have for you, pile number 2. I hope that does help. You're finally going to get what you deserve in a good way, okay? And I know you've been patient, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's move on to the last pile. And again, if you're just joining, you might want to go back to the beginning, but you don't have to. All right, let's see here. Da 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 da. The waiting music is free, don't worry. Okay. So if you chose the card number 3, I just heard the word goofy. Goofy. Sweet baby Jesus, what is going on here? Whew. These have putting me through it. All right. So if you chose card number 3, you have you are not a victim of your DNA, and it's number 62. Your environment has a huge influence on your life, not just your DNA. Meaning, okay, so the question is, what have you finally put behind you? What you have finally put behind you is a feeling of helplessness. And even if you feel that a little bit still, this is a sign that you're going to be changing that very, very soon. There could even be someone around you that's about 62 years old. This could be even like, a sibling or a parental figure possibly. But the message here is that you have been feeling like you're in fighter mode, like warrior mode, for a long time now. as long as, oh my gosh, so you're 21, as long as since 2021, you have been trying so hard to make some kind of dream happen, also trying to just have a happy family. I know these are very general so far, but just the basics. You've been feeling like, I just want, to have some options of things that aren't terrible and just have a sense of feeling like I have a family. And it's been really hard. And what you should know is that you don't have to fight quite as hard. Similar to the last card, the message here is about responsibility. Because what I can see is that, wow. So take what you connect with and leave the rest. So what I can see, I need like a bell or something. I have one. Okay. Here's the message. You have a sense that in everything you do, you try to take responsibility, which is great. Normally, it's really good to always reflect on, all right, so they hurt me, but do I have any role in this, etc. But you've done enough. The message here is you, at this point, are trying to fix things that are not yours to fix. And when you're not finding happiness, when you haven't, you have had this mindset of, there's more to me that I have to fix. There's something here why I'm the problem. I can't make a family happen. Or I'm the problem. I can't seem to make my dream happen. And like I said, this message here is that it's good to always keep that kind of in the back of your mind, but not right now. Right now, you have done enough. And the message here is that you're basically around a bunch of assholes. I don't mean that, maybe I can say that better. You might have heard of the term nature versus nurture, where who we are is based on a combination of our environment, the people we're around, the place that we live, whoever's joined the nudist camp, I'm just kidding. But the people around us and what we eat is part of it. The second part is our DNA, is our ancestors, is our biological traits. This is saying that you have been assuming that the struggle you're going through is deep within you. This is something that happens in the family, and there's parts of me that are just, people don't want to be around, or I'm just self-sabotaging. And that this is saying, no, that's not the case anymore. It's your environment. So you're being encouraged to try a new environment, okay? It also seems like you've been shopping a lot lately. You might have been doing some shopping therapy. You might have been feeling a bit helpless, and so you've been going and shopping quite a bit to feel better. We all do that. There's also a sense here of like a graveyard. I don't know if maybe somebody passed away recently, but what you should know is the world is the end. The world is the end of the journey here. And so where you were feeling like you just couldn't create happy options. You could only create options that were a struggle, and you couldn't quite find your tribe. You couldn't quite find your people. Now you are at the end, and you actually have reached that. And you also have the Lovers. I believe this is Gemini, I believe. And so the good news is that you have a major choice to make. And this might have to do with another person, but it says, my personal value system lead me to love. Look at all these naked people. What y'all doing? See all these naked people? This is a message of a possible reason why you you haven't found your tribe or that dream job is because the place where you've been trying to make it happen, the city, even the group of people, you felt like you couldn't truly be yourself. It felt like you couldn't be childlike and you couldn't be, whimsical and lighthearted. You couldn't be spontaneous. You couldn't, just let your true self out. But now you can. And that is where you are going to find your happiness. And I see it that you might actually start out this with 2 other people. There's something here about June 21st. What happened on June 21st? That's exciting. October 9th. So, October 9th might be an important day for you where you will actually be around a group of people that feels secure. It's a feeling of family, of happiness, a feeling of you're not alone in making your dreams happen, a feeling of other people will want that for you too. And this is a miracle in a sense. Also, there's something about you might be near a mountain. Also, this card is offering the message for me of your wings might have been hurt, but they're not clipped, okay? So if you chose pile number 3, the message for you is you've put behind having to hold back who you really are for these assholes that you've been around. I'm sorry. I know that they might have been friends or family or just the city you're in. And again, I'm not sure it's fair to even blame them, right? But what I can say is you've done enough. If you stop trying to make it work where you are, and you can be open to what happens on October 9th, there'll be this feeling of being yourself again. You can be funny again. You can be lighthearted. It seems like you have a lot of strong interest in animals also. And there's something about that you feel like you can't let out. And these other people are going to be like, heck yeah, we love that. So there might be 2 other people that you meet that really just let it all out there and you feel like you can be safe with that too. All right, so let's get one more message here. Also, there's a lot of blonde people here, so if you meet someone who's blonde, that's might be a good sign for you. Yeah. Okay. Heck yeah, look. So you have the Chariot. Look, another blonde. That's so funny. Okay. So it's number 7. So it says, no obstacles will stop me now. This is also related to Cancer. This is the Cancer sign card. And it's victory, overcoming obstacles, success, ambition. Yeah, and the feeling I get here is to find these people, you might literally have to go out of town just a little bit. So if you get an invitation somewhere into a slightly different city or just someplace you haven't really been before, it sounds like if you take it, it will be really, really good for you. Because the thing that hasn't been appreciated is, wow, man, okay. The thing that hasn't been appreciated is, I have goosebumps. So since 2021, you've been around people in a city, in a situation where you've had to hide who you really are. You've had to wear armor of sorts. And while doing that, you had to make do with people that you wanted to be a sense of like family and loving and trusting, but they weren't. So you were making do with that, and you were trying to make this dream happen. This could even be something online, like a career, or something very creative even, and it wasn't really happening, but you were kind of making do with it. And you also, there's just a little bit of something here about distractions. Maybe drinking a bit, maybe drugs, maybe sex, maybe food or spending. So you had all that going on, and yet now you have had so much ambition and determination, you haven't given up, even when you wanted to. And what's magical here is you're going to meet some people, and even though you just met them, somehow they will know all of that. And you're not used to people paying that much attention to you, are you? So you're going to assume, oh, these people are cool, they're quirky, and they let themselves be 100% who they are. There's no way that they can get how much pain and how much struggle I've been through, but they will, because you haven't been around people that pay attention. And so you might be shocked at how quickly people intuitively know what a good person you are. Whew, that is good stuff. And I think that's about it. October 9th might be an important day. Also, you might notice that what you've put behind you is trying so hard, and in moving forward, there is likely a woman, maybe a motherly figure that's a bit overbearing, makes you feel a bit insecure. There's a feeling of like disharmony. This would be a woman that doesn't move around very much, might, even have a disability of sorts, someone who sits a lot, someone who is really focused on money. It's someone who is like a motherly figure, and when you move forward, getting to know these new people that like you for you, it might imply moving away from this motherly figure that's been overbearing. And you're just being encouraged to be open to that. It's your life. You can do what you want. But that's part of what this message was. Your environment has a huge influence on your life, not just your DNA. I think that's also related to this motherly figure. Okay. And who is also blonde. Y'all have a bunch of blonde people in your life. That is so funny. Okay. And everything here is happening outside. So if you are invited to like a barbecue of sorts or something like that, that's a bit out of town, that's all good. Okay. You have a lot of wings here too. This feels very much like a rebirth. So that's what I have for you. And remember, you deserve to be yourself in the world. And it is always, always, always best for the world and yourself the more authentic you can be, even if it hurts at first. So that's what I have for you, pile 3. And maybe you saw or you were drawn to more than one pile, and that's okay too. You can go back and watch, but I felt like you needed to hear this. So please take very, very good care of yourself, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.